This 13 WREX original presentation is brought to you by Goodwill of Northern Illinois. Right now, history unfolding in America's heartland. From the vast vistas of Texas to the majestic mountains of Maine, the sky is putting on a show. Millions have gathered, hoping to catch a glimpse of this astronomical adventure. The 2024 Solar Eclipse. 13 WREX and our partners at the Weather Channel are giving you a front row seat to the spectacle, the path of totality, to an unprecedented perspective using a high-powered telescope. Our coverage of the 2024 Solar Eclipse, History in the Heartland, starts now.
Ooh, what an exciting time. Good afternoon and welcome to the 13 WREX special presentation, the 2024 Solar Eclipse, History in the Heartland. I'm Brittany Hardaway, joined by 13 WREX meteorologist Claudia Olette. Claudia, I know you are excited for today.
Absolutely, Brittany. I mean, I think you're excited as well.
Yes.
Definitely once in a lifetime for some. I've been talking about the eclipse all day, and in just about 15 minutes, it's happening right here in our own backyard. As the path of totality moves across the country, we want to show you what other communities are experiencing at the exact moment. Our partners at the Weather Channel providing this exclusive view using a special high-powered lens. You could see the sun impacting by the position of the moon, which is the case for the beautiful solar eclipse.
Yes, very cool. Now, Claudia, kind of walk us through what is a solar eclipse. I know a lot of people know you got the moon, you got the earth, you got sun, but you know, sometimes that's what all people know. Walk us through exactly what is a total solar eclipse.
Well, it's super rare. Obviously, we don't see this every year, every day, of course, but that's when the moon passes in between the Earth and the sun. And this happens every about 1 to 3 years, believe it or not. But it's very rare for it to happen right in the U.S., at least for that path of totality to pass through. That happens obviously very rare right here in the U.S. And on average, for it to happen in the same place, that is about, on average, every 366 years. So Carbondale, Illinois, getting pretty lucky. That's where, of course, close to where Alex Kirchner is for today.
Oh, yeah. We got so much team coverage of this very historical event. Chief meteorologist, like you mentioned, Alex Kirchner, is in Carbondale, Illinois at Southern Illinois University, my alma mater. Alex, to experience the path of totality. We also have meteorologist John Juergens. He's at Northern Illinois University, too, using their high-powered telescope to give us an exclusive look at that eclipse. But first, let's check in with Alex. Saluki Nation, Alex, tell us, how excited are people down there in Carbondale?
Oh, Brittany, they are thrilled right now. There's kind of a hush over the crowd because we're about 9 minutes away from things reaching totality here. We've had quite the party with the marching band, all sorts of demonstrations, and I have to say right now, I'm really excited by the meteorology with all of us. The light is getting pretty funky right now. It's definitely got a weird hue to it. The temperature just over the last 10 minutes dropped to about 5 degrees. They're thinking it may drop as much as 15 here at Southern Illinois University because of that change and how much daylight, how much solar energy we're getting. So I'm trying to take it all in. Take in the change of daylight, take in the change in temperature, the change in the wind speed, because that's supposed to calm down. And then, of course, if we're lucky, we can maybe see a 360-degree sunset. We might be able to see bright stars and planets because for us in Southern Illinois, in Carbondale, we'll be under that path of totality. 100% of the moon is going to block out the sun, and it's going to be quite the breathtaking experience. I can't wait to share it with you and everybody else that's watching us at home right now.
Claudia, and you can tell he's getting like more shady as as he talks too.
Absolutely, yeah. And one thing too that happens during a solar eclipse, the winds will start to die down too. So those flags waving behind him will slowly start to settle a little bit.
Oh, it's going to be a sight to see. Meteorologist John Juergens is at Northern Illinois University, and Claudia and John, you both are Huskies too. So this is a fun one. There is a high-powered telescope they are using to track the eclipse out there.
Very cool, absolutely. John joins us from the observatory. John, walk us through how this all works.
Well, how the observatory works, and we can actually, we're joining you from the courtyard in front of Davis Hall. That's the science building on the campus of NIU. And as we take a look at Davis Hall, the very top of that, there you see the dome on the top there, gray. That is the observatory itself. That is where that telescope is. And we were just up there a few minutes ago while they were getting the stream set up. And I got to tell you, there is a whole lot of science that is going on up there. And I got to tell you, down here on the ground, we are really bringing in a lot of people. There's got to be hundreds of people down here on the courtyard. They've had games all day. Now, they're also making it a fun experience for the students, but it's also going to be an educational experience, too. The physics department and the overall sciences department has had demonstrations going on across the courtyard to see the eclipse in very different ways. And they've also been giving out all these eclipse glasses. And, of course, we'll give you updates as we get closer and closer to that 90% coverage here in DeKalb. But for now, send it back to you in studio.
Thank you, John. Brittany, several school districts actually canceled class today for the eclipse. Most of those schools are in the path of totality.
I know the students are excited, but especially to also learn a little bit more about science, too. Now, at this hour, 70 school districts have shut down, calling today a, quote, not in attendance day for this big rare event. The State Board of Education saying while many kids aren't in school, districts can still encourage kids to use an e-learning day for today's celestial event. And one school that isn't closed and using today's event as a huge science lesson, Roscoe Middle School. That's where we find my co-anchor, Derek Bain. Derek, tell us, how excited are the kids to see this?
Yeah, Brittany, the kids are just walking out here at Roscoe Middle School, and they're getting their first glimpses, and you can hear the oohs and the ahs, and oh, I see it. They're all just getting their first glimpse. They're putting on, their nice eclipse glasses right now, so they are, having a good time. I just spoke with the science teacher who said they've been learning about eclipses and science for the 6th graders, and she actually ordered plenty of glasses 2 years ago. She wanted to make sure she got a good price and had enough for the whole school to enjoy this celestial moment right now. It's been a pretty neat to see all these kids just walking out here. I'm going to just step out for 1 minute. You see these kids just looking up and kind of in awe right now. You can't really tell if you don't have the glasses on. Just see the blue skies and everything, but it's kind of a neat moment once you put these on. So I'm going to go enjoy that view as well right now as we get closer to a good percentage of coverage here in Northern Illinois. Back to you guys.
Yeah, look, talk about prepared. 2 years in advance. That's how you have to get your glasses.
I love it. She was counting down.
Yes, and we are ready to. We have our glasses, but we want to go back to Alex. Is in that path of totality down in Southern Illinois. Let's check back in with him as we're just a few minutes away, Alex.
Well, Claudia and Brittany, the changes I've noticed is that the wind is really dying down. There's maybe a very light breeze. Some of the flags that were behind us were whipping a lot earlier, but they have really changed because, again, we're losing that solar energy, we're losing that heat, and that change in the atmosphere is starting to be felt, and it's getting a lot darker now, and I noticed the temperature's way down from where it was early before. So this is, we're seeing how the weather changes based off of how much energy we got coming in from the sun. And that is, I think, as a meteorologist, I'm just loving this right now. We're not even quite to totality yet, and we're already seeing you start to get that sun blocked by the moon, and it's changing the weather around us. Haven't noticed any wildlife doing weird stuff yet, but we'll have to see if we can keep an eye out for that. So you're probably noticing it's definitely darkening as I look around here, and it's just fun to see everyone in the crowd. They got their glasses on. They're starting to, there's like a buzz about the crowd. There's an energy as everybody's just starting to take this in. And I'm sure the closer we get to totality, the more of a hush is going to come over this crowd. I got to speak to a couple people today. A group flew in from California and then traveled down here because they didn't want to miss this. There was a lady who had a stroke last year that lives in Cedar Rapids. Her daughter made sure that she was able to make it here today as just part of her recovery and to make sure that she didn't miss this life-changing, this just amazing, awe-inspiring event. So it's been fun to talk to everybody in the crowd so far. Now I'm going to put my glasses on and see just how far away we are. We are roughly 2.5 minutes out from totality right now. And the sun is just like an ever so slight sliver. So when we reach totality, it'll last about 4 minutes, from about 1:59 to about 2:03. Where we are in Carbondale, we'll actually be able to take our Eclipse glasses off. If you're in Rockford, Northern Illinois, definitely do not do that. Keep those glasses on. But we're in one of the very rare spots where we might be able to view this without our glasses. I had to put them on just now. And again, ever so sliver of the sun is still poking through. And now I'm really starting to see all sorts of changes in the daylight. And it's getting awfully eerie almost. And you can hear the crowd behind me. Yeah, we can really notice the change here. Oh, this is awesome. So again, we're about 1:30 out as of right now. So about 1 minute, 30 seconds away from that totality. And this is something else, I'll have to tell you. Again, I can really notice that change in daylight. It's almost like sunset as of this point. So,
Alex, how much has the temperature been dropping?
Last I checked at Southern Illinois Airport, it was about 5 degrees, but because there's so many people in the stadium, you know, Wi-Fi, that kind of connection's been a little spotty. I'm going to guess it's about 10 degrees cooler, just based off of what it feels like right now. It was almost to 80 earlier, and now I'm thinking it's down into the 60s. That is an amazing change in temperature just over the last 10 or 15 minutes. Almost gives you some chills as you start to look around and feel the wind even going calm. And these were the kind of things I was hoping to see and observe while I was here. And we are less than a minute away. I'm gonna put my glasses back on and see if I can catch more of it.
Yeah, put your glasses on. Alex, tell us how are you feeling in this moment? I mean, you're right in the path. I hear the cheers behind you. What's going through your mind?
It's almost hard to put into words. Like, this is just one of those experiences that it's so eerie and different, yet awe-inspiring. I mean, just listen to the crowd behind me. There's like 14,000 people going nuts over the sun disappearing. This is just, I can't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, we could definitely see it getting darker there.
You can just see, like, you can barely see.
All right, we're almost gone.
Oh, yeah. That crowd's getting excited. I have the goosebumps just watching this.
Look at the back. You can't see anything.
Nope.
Anything at all.
Look at that.
Wow.
And it's when we get closer to this moment, when that little diamond disappears, that's when you can take off those glasses. I think Alex just did that. And that's when you can safely watch that total solar eclipse right in the path of totality. Otherwise, you're back at home at 90%, still not safe to look at it without the glasses. But Alex is in one of those very few places where you can actually view it for the few minutes without those glasses. Look at that.
And so what I'm seeing right now is I can see some bright stars. I can see the sun's atmosphere, the corona. You can only see this during totality. So we are seeing the sun's atmosphere. And like, pictures and cameras just don't do this justice. This is unbelievable. I can see the bright rays of the sun like peering out away from the moon. I can catch little bright dots. That is the terrain of the moon. The sun is peering through those little mountains on the moon. And you can also see the energy of the sun arcing around on the surface of the moon.
Does it look green to you?
I can see why this is like a heavenly event.
Does it look green to you, Alex? From our view, I know we're looking through the camera, but you can see it. It appears like lime green.
It's a bright white halo around the moon with a couple pink dots where we're seeing that sun's energy, and I am seeing the 360-degree sunset. I was hoping for that too. There was a sunset in every single direction.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, you are right. I didn't think about it that way.
Wow. It's so dark out there. I mean, even as Nathan is just panning the camera, we could just see all of those people, and now they're just shadows.
Right, right. I did read one interesting thing, too, when this happens. Sometimes, like, wildlife will react, and obviously the weather. Sometimes even humans will get emotional at times. And I've seen videos, I mean, if people remember back in 2017, there was a video of Tom Skilling getting emotional watching and others too. So it's kind of incredible that even ourselves can react to it.
Yes, in real time too. I can even hear the people in the background. They're just like, ooh, ah.
Yeah.
So many oohs and ahs.
Exactly, yeah.
There's people lying down on the field just kind of taking this all in. I'm doing my best to take this all in too, because this is like, we're not going to see this again for about 21 years in the United States. So just lucky to be with this crowd right now, observing this. I've noticed like maybe some birds starting to fly around a little bit, but for the most part, everything's just kind of calm. There's not much of a breeze. You can see the stars. You can see that bright halo around the moon itself, like it's a diamond ring in the sky. This is just amazing. I can definitely see why people just get moved by this, because I'm having a hard time describing what I'm seeing right now.
Right, because even the way you're describing it, and, you know, I feel like it's not, you know, if we could just be in person to see it, what he's saying.
Yeah, a description.
I really wish I could transport all of you down here with me. Exactly, yes.
Yeah, the pictures, even the description, like you mentioned, Brittany, really doesn't do it justice to what people are seeing. I mean, it truly, you're speechless looking at something like this.
And this is one of the longer levels of totality, so it's kind of an extra special eclipse because you get so many more minutes with this. Sometimes it might only be for a minute, so 5 seconds, we got to put our glasses back on, and you can hear the crowd. Everybody's bummed.
Oh, wow.
That's what I was going to ask, like, when do you have to start putting the glasses back on? Oh, you can see some of the people putting their glasses back on.
Yeah, it's starting to change right now. You can really notice the difference as soon as that sunlight starts going. I mean, look at the change in daylight already. It's like the stadium lights are coming on right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's just within 30 seconds.
That's incredible. And then we're back to daylight.
Yes. We can see them again.
I know.
Wow.
That's awesome. You just witnessed a total solar eclipse.
It's like the sun is rising again in a weird way, but like all around us right now. What an amazing experience.
Amazing.
Now, this eclipse is going to last, it's not quite over yet. The partial portion of this is going to last for at least another hour. So, like, if you haven't had a chance to run outside yet, you'll at least get part of the moon in front of the sun. So, you know, get that opportunity, because, again, we won't get a total solar eclipse for another 21 years. So, even if it's a partial eclipse in the United States, run out and try to observe this.
So glad you got to see that in person, that total solar eclipse down in southern Illinois. Alex, we'll check back in with you in just a few minutes. But we want to go out back to our Derek Bain. He's with the kiddos out at Roscoe Middle School as they are experiencing this total solar eclipse. Derek, how's it looking where you are?
Yeah, Brittany, you still see a lot of blue skies here. It's not too much, not too dark or anything here, but yeah, the kids, they've been loving it. They've, you know, I think just being outside, getting a fresh air on a beautiful day like this, and then when they put those glasses on, it's kind of a little moment of awe. It's really neat to see just their expressions light up, and they start screaming and saying just, oh, I've never seen anything like this, and this is so neat. And, you know, there's been a lot of preparations for this event, thanks to the science teachers and everybody at this school to make sure this was a big event. They're all taking a nice big school picture right now over there, right by the school. It's a packed house here. It's been a lot of fun just seeing them all run out here and start putting the glasses on, and for the first time in their lives, for a lot of them, seeing a solar eclipse. Even if it's not 100% here, about 90% coverage, so a really neat situation here in northern Illinois here at Roscoe Middle School. Back to you.
Thank you, Derek. Definitely one that I'm sure all those kids will remember. But let's check in one last time with our very own John Juergens at NIU with that observatory. Big crowds there gathering as well. Everybody got their glasses ready. What are you seeing, John? Checking in with you as we have reached 90% coverage.
And I've got to tell you, Claudia and Brittany, it is an amazing sight. I mean, even though we're not in the path of totality, as I look through the eclipse glasses, I mean, the sun essentially just looks like a fingernail almost. I mean, it is just an extraordinary kind of sight to see. It is noticeably darker here in DeKalb, and I can tell you, it does feel a lot cooler, too. Wind gusts have calmed down just a little bit. And now we're starting to hear the crowd a little bit. I don't know if you can hear them too.
We can. They're so excited.
It is an extraordinary kind of environment here. And Claudia, you and I know that there is a huge student body here, and I got to tell you, there is a huge amount of students and also just alumni. I've run into alumni that have come here to NIU, and it has just been an extraordinary kind of experience here that, it's not necessarily the path of totality like Alex is seeing down in Carbondale, but it is quite an extraordinary experience. And this is the first eclipse and I was able to see. I wasn't able to watch the 2017 eclipse, but I got to tell you, this is just an amazing sight to see. I mean, it may not be 100%. However, it's just an amazing thing, and also kind of a shared experience. I mean, there are new friends being made just all around me right now. So it's just kind of just an amazing view to see just across the NIU campus that there is just a whole congregation of people here that are just, enjoying quite the amazing scientific show that we're all getting to see across the area today.
All right, John, glad you got to experience it. Even though it was about 90%, still just an amazing time to experience this rare event. Now from NIU back to SIU. Let's get back out there to our chief meteorologist, Alex Kirchner, who just witnessed that total solar eclipse. Alex, how's the crowd now?
The crowd is starting to clear out. Some people are, ready to go party somewhere else. Some are sticking around because you can hear the party still going at SIU. And some people might be hanging out because of the traffic as well, because there's a lot of people that are about to leave town. I think overall, though, just based off of the crowd reaction, there's still people that are taking this in. I know I'm still taking this in, kind of processing what we just witnessed. It was heavenly almost. I can see why this is such a awe-inspiring event. And now that it's getting brighter out, it feels like, it's a new day. The sun's coming back out again, and temperatures start to heat back up. I think that's the most amazing thing to me, is that the temperature dropped about 7 degrees over about 10 minutes, and now you're feeling that heat back, which just shows how much influence our star has on our planet. It's kind of neat to be just connected like this to our universe, to our solar system, and to see something like this that doesn't come along very often. So overall, it was an absolutely amazing experience here at Southern Illinois University. Back to you.
Yeah, that was amazing. I'm glad that we got Alex down there just to see everything. Claudia, any last thoughts?
Absolutely. I just want to say during that whole coverage, I had chills. Even though we're not there, we're not in the path of totality, still regardless, amazing that it happens during our lifetime.
Yeah, it's such a great event. Thank you all so much for joining us for this historic event, the 2024 Solar Eclipse History in the Heartland. We're going to rejoin our partners at NBC News and their coverage and look for a full wrap of today's event starting at 4 right here on 13 WREX. Thanks for watching.
This 13 WREX original presentation was brought to you by Goodwill of Northern Illinois.